I was looking for Baines on the bench to look at him in disgust because the way Birch finishes in the paint, I mean, it's a beautiful
Baines
thing.
is setting up a shot put when he's doing it. Looks like you back in grade 8 when you used to send the shot put over to St. Francis.
Making a push for the play-in game. The Bulls self-destructed and the Raptors right on their back again.
Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Brass with us. We got Thanos back on the podcast. And we got Big Boy Dylon back-to-back coming through, giving us a few minutes of his time.
Okay.
Raptors, with a little bit of Dylon's luck, come away with the W, 117-112. The Raptors don't let DeMar get another game on us. And with a shorthanded team tonight on a second night of a back-to-back, come out with the big W. And leading scorer for the Raptors was OG Anunoby with 22 points. Pascal himself was pretty respectable for the night, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. DeMar DeRozan, against his former team, came out scoring 19 points only. You know, we stopped him from scoring, but he dished out 11 assists. And I'm going to start off with you, Dylan. What did you see in this game that was kind of positive to you?
I just like the roles that everyone's fallen into. I think the matchup and stuff is always going to be different depending on the team. Mm-hmm. But the way we play, we can always have a mismatch on our end. And I think today's game, we've kind of found it was OG with the speed and the size on his matchup today. I think it was DeRozan sometimes guarding him, and off the switches, sometimes DeJounte Murray. So that's where our advantage was, and we were able to capitalize on it. So I think that was the main thing today.
You played the two today. See the dunk on DeRozan? That was a sick dunk.
Yeah, so sometimes when we play small ball, they have to put a weak defender on OG just because Pascal's out there, and depending on if Trent Jr. is out there. So sometimes OG gets the weakest defender, and that's when we got to capitalize on getting him the rock.
I know.
The Raptors went big tonight because they had a lack of guards, with Gary Trent Jr. being out with an ankle injury. Paul Watson came back tonight for the first time, but Bembry was still out, hamstring tightness. Fred VanVleet was serving a suspension, but OG came out dropping 11 points in that first quarter, 3 threes to start the game. And they went with the big lineup with the front court of the two Canadians straight out of Montreal with Chris Boucher and Khem Birch. Khem Birch getting his first start. Aaron Baines not seeing another day. He wasn't getting any minutes at all for the second straight game, or third straight game now since Khem Birch has been there. And yeah, Nugent, I wanted to get your first impression on Khem Birch in the starting role tonight.
Yeah, I think he played pretty solid tonight. I feel like the starting lineup that we had today was not bad. Like the big men that we had playing today, like with Boucher. Boucher kind of struggled today, but Khem Birch played pretty solid. I was surprised that Trent wasn't playing tonight. I didn't know that he was out today. Malachi Flynn was kind of struggling a little bit. He got back to where he was usually in the fourth quarter, like how he did the last game. I saw Siakam. He started driving more this game compared to like how he did last game, because I feel like he started shooting more threes last game compared to this game. Mm-hmm. But I kind of felt like, as well as this game, I kind of felt like he was kind of forcing his shot, like how Browse was mentioning in the last game, where he needs to facilitate it more instead of like forcing a shot, you know. But I feel like it wasn't that bad. I felt like it was a good starting lineup today that was played.
The Raptors front court, whether it was Khem Birch or Gillespie coming off the bench, and I'm talking specifically about the center position, they did really well tonight, held their own. I think together, Khem Birch in 29 minutes had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. He was 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, no 3-point attempts. And Freddie Gillespie in 18 minutes had almost a double-double, 9 points, 8 rebounds, and assists.
His stats does not show like his hustle. Like Freddie G's hustle tonight was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, in 18 minutes, he had 9 points, 8 rebounds, and assists. No steals, 3 blocks, 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, no 3-point attempts. But both Khem Birch and Freddie Gillespie look like a young Serge Ibaka and a young Bismack Biyombo out there with the blocks. Yeah. And there was a possession specifically with Freddie Gillespie where he blocked, I think, DeJounte Murray.
That's DeRozan, no?
No, I think it was Patty Mills, right?
Oh, it was Patty Mills, yeah. Freddie Gillespie blocked Patty Mills at when he was going up for the layup, and then he actually saved the ball as well at the same time to save the possession. Their hustle out there, I mean, you don't account for that.
Yeah. He's got a good motor, and these guys on the bench, especially Paul Watson, underrated player, has a high basketball IQ. And Gillespie, I think, since he's kind of new, first team, I guess, first roster, he's been on getting minutes. He's coachable, so he's learning a lot. He's like a sponge, young guy. And there's a lot of leadership here on the Raptors, and that's what we've got to take advantage of. And Gillespie, Birch, all guys who have a high motor compared to Baines. And when we had Alex Len, those guys might have the size, but they don't have the motor or the athleticism.
They're versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely can move their feet really quickly. They're good on their feet. But with Gillespie, I mean, one of the things that we noticed a lot about this game when he got valuable minutes is like a lot of the stats that he, a lot of the things he does on the floor doesn't come and show up on the box score. But you could see it if you're watching the game live. And I thought he was playing the forward position, but it looks like he's backing up Kevin Birch at the center position.
Yeah, it looks like.
And Malachi Flynn, he didn't have the best game, but he had another 16-point outing in a starting role. I think it was third start of the season, right?
Yeah.
And in 32 minutes, another 30-plus minute game with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Wasn't efficient from the field, only 4 of 15. 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, but had 2 steals. Past couple of games, he's been pretty clutch for the most part. Whether it's with a dish, a nice dime to Kevin Birch, or taking tough shots and, at the end of a shot clock. But yeah.
Yeah, well, got to remember that these guys on the second lineup, well, they're going to be essentially the second lineup. And if they build up a good chemistry now, by the time Pascal and OG and Boucher are playing with their 2 lead guards, Malachi Flynn and the 2 new big men, as well as Gary Trent Jr., we're gonna have a strong bench, which is kind of like the identity the Raptors usually have. Always have a solid second lineup, and that's what they're building right now.
Bench mob.
Especially, they just got to figure out though, when we're all healthy, who the starting 5 is gonna be, which is kind of still up in the air.
Yeah, majority of the people that Malachi Flynn's playing with, he's trying to find his chemistry with that second unit once we get all our guards back in the starting role, like Fred VanVleet and KYLE LOWRY. But one thing I wanted to say was Paul Watson and Yuta Watanabe, they found their 3-point stroke tonight. And Watanabe hit about 3 threes, I believe, for the game. Paul Watson hit 2 big threes in the fourth quarter. And I think Watanabe might have had one of those 3 threes in the fourth quarter as well. But his hustle, his defense, there's a possession on the 3-point line. I believe it was on Derek White. Was it on Derek White where he blocked, or was it Patty? No, it was Patty Mills again.
No, it was Derek. No, Watanabe when he had a finger on the shot, right?
When he blocked the shot.
Yeah. No, that was White.
Derek White?
Yeah, Derek White. Yeah.
Are you sure? I felt like it was Patty Mills.
I'm positive.
Derek White was going off today. Yeah.
Yeah. Derek White and Patty Mills were both going off tonight. I mean, I think Patty Mills had averaged 20 points in the 2 games against the Raptors. 20 plus. The Raptors shot 47% for the game, 41 of 88 from the field. And the Spurs, they shot 38 of 90 for 42% from the field. The Raptors started off hot from beyond the arc. I believe in the first half, they were 9 of 17. And they didn't have as much success with the 3-point shooting in the second half, but they ended the night with 14 threes made out of 30 attempts for 47%. And the Spurs made 17 threes out of 40 attempts for 42%. OG did score 11 points in the first quarter. What did you think about him playing the shooting guard position, though, Dylan? Did you see any difference with his play?
Yeah, I feel like OG's a versatile player.
Yeah.
So we're highlighting that. Brav said it before. The Raptors have guys who can play 2 or 3 positions, and that's the main thing. And in today's basketball, you don't really – they say it's positionless, but if you can defend a couple positions on the other team, you're going to have an okay time. And OG goes from guarding centers one game, and now he's guarding DeRozan. So he shows his versatility there. I think he kind of plays opposite. Well, when he's playing on the perimeter, he has the more outside game going. Obviously easier for him, easier on his body. So I think he obviously kind of would prefer playing the shooting guard over playing power forward, where we find him a lot these days. So think he did a good job there.
The Raptors in the first quarter were down 17-10 at one point. It seemed like it was going to go downhill for them again, but then they went on an 11-0 run, making Greg Popovich take back-to-back timeouts.
Yeah.
And I believe there was one possession, or Patty Mills in the first quarter actually, he had 11 points in 4 minutes when he came off the bench. And he was one of the main sparks off the bench, but he was looking, he's been a Raptor killer this season every time he's played us.
Yeah.
Even though he only played us twice in a season. Did you guys notice Gary Trent Jr.'s outfit on the bench?
Yeah.
Jack, my brother talking and off camera. I was like saying that Jack Armstrong was like man crushing Gary Trent's outfit.
Word.
Oh yeah, he kept on complimenting.
He kept talking about it.
He looked like a young Pablo Escobar with the shirt open.
Word. I seen that.
And he's only 22, man. So that's he has that good charisma. So I can see him in the future being like a second best player on the Raptors or on any team, actually, if he keeps his mind up. But being 22, it's not bad.
He's definitely going to earn a lot of money from some team. Someone's going to boost up his value, and then the Raptors are going to obviously have to sign him because he's a restricted free agent. The Raptors' point differential on the second night of a back-to-back has been minus 10.1 points. Tonight, they were plus 13 against the Spurs, and they get the second win. They're 2-11 on the second night of a back-to-back. Who saw the play by DeJounte Murray? I just wanted to get that out there because I had it in the back of my head, but DeJounte Murray and Stanley Johnson, he had him playing Twister there for possession. Any of you guys catch that? He had him on the floor.
When he fell,
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything though. Like
he didn't do anything, but he blew by him though, and then he had him on the floor for a second. The Raptors actually won the rebounding category today. The season high, they said it was 56 rebounds, but the score is only showing 54.
But that's a lot for us.
Yeah, they out-rebounded.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they out-rebounded the Spurs 54-42, being a plus 12. And from the free throw line, the Raptors got 25 attempts, made 21 for 84% from the line. And the Spurs got 27 attempts, only made 19 for 70% from the line. Offensive rebounding, the Raptors and the Spurs were both tied 13 apiece. Assists-wise, the Raptors only had 21. The Spurs had 26. So the Raptors were minus 5 in that category. Steals-wise, the Raptors had 8. Spurs had 6. Raptors were plus 2. Blocks, both teams were 7 apiece. Turnovers, the Raptors had 12. The Spurs had 13. Raptors were
I bet you our turnovers were heavily based because of Siakam. Siakam and his terrible ball handling skills.
Hold on. I want to say something about that. Chris Boucher was smoking whatever Pascal's had for the past.
Yeah. Near the end, right?
Did you guys notice it? Bro, like we had, like every time it felt like Chris Boucher couldn't make a mistake, he purposely made a mistake. Why was he dribbling the ball so much?
Yo, I'm telling you, Siakam gave some cheap shit.
But
I think he's just rushing to get his touch. Like when he gets his touches, he's making the wrong decision because he wants to impact.
Yeah. But
especially after he dropped 40, what was his season high or career high? 40 something?
38 points and 19 rebounds against Chicago.
So after that game, he probably felt like he's
he was the number one option, right?
Yeah.
He had that Pascal Siakam eagle going for him.
Yeah, he probably took it as a little bit of an offense too, because we picked up 2 big men who are going to be part of our rotation.
Yeah.
And we kind of lost a couple wing players. So it kind of floods the big man position for him. So he probably is taking it as a way saying, hey, these guys are going to take my minutes. So he just wants to leave his impact, especially on games that are close and he gets to close off the games. Because I think when Lowry and VanVleet come back, Boucher won't be closing games as much.
But to be honest, I think those big guys actually takes off a lot of ease and stress off his shoulders. You know what I mean? Because like with Baines in there, you're giving Boucher more minutes to cover for him, right? Because Baines is struggling, right? So now with Burge and Freddie G coming in, like I think Boucher has less stress, you know, and like it gives him more opportunity to like, you know, take a break and like come back and excel. But I don't know.
But back to Dylan's point though, with the Chris Boucher, it's like, you know, worrying too much about his minutes being taken away from the new big guys. That's the wrong approach to take. Because Norman Powell tried to do that when Danny Green and Kawhi were here, and he had like an off year that season.
Yeah.
So like, just stay within your game and play and do what you do, and the offense will come to you, right? That's how it should be. But the Raptors, in points in the paint, they had 48 points tonight. They allowed The San Antonio Spurs only to have 36, so they were plus 12 in that category. Second chance points, the Raptors only had 15. Spurs had 17, so they were -2. But fast break points, the Raptors had 13. Spurs only had 9. Raptors are +4. Points off turnovers, Raptors only had 16. Spurs had 22, so the Raptors are -6. Biggest lead for the Raptors was 13. Biggest lead for the Spurs was 7. And fouls, they both had 19 apiece for the game.
Yeah, I just was thinking about this. Like the Raptors tend to play to the other team's style and pace. So that's why I find that the stats are pretty much even. Every time we look at a team, they're kind of close in terms of turnovers and shots up and, assists and all that because they're playing the same pace.
Yeah,
so I guess they're still trying to find their identity. And, other teams, they have their pace and the other players have to match them, opposition. So it looks like we're always playing to the other team's pace at this point.
It's hard to find the identity when you're putting new pieces into the lineup every single time because no one can stay healthy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a breath of fresh air to see a guy like Cam Birch come in his third game, start for the first time as a Raptor, and finish those easy bunnies in the paint off of
It was a nice floater, eh?
Yeah, thank God,
It was
man.
a nice floater.
I was looking for Baines on the bench to look at him in disgust because the way Birch finishes in the paint, I mean, it's a beautiful
Baines
thing.
is setting up a shot put when he's doing it. Looks like you back in grade 8 when you used to send a shot put over to St. Francis.
No, but for real though, it is a breath of fresh air to see a guy in the center position and start and actually put in that much work and be able to finish those close baskets.
It's a breath of fresh air that a guy can catch a basketball in the 5 position. It's like not rewarding. It's like peace of mind now. Like before, when you pass the ball to Baines, it's like you think he's gonna pass it to himself or some shit. Like you trip out.
There's so much anxiety. Having him touch the ball.
I gotta pump some morphine in myself to calm myself down, yo.
I wanted to talk about some of the main guys, the main scorers for the Raptors. I don't know, Dylan, do you want to take over and talk about some of the main starters that scored in double digits tonight? You have the stats pulled up?
Boucher had an efficient 12 and 12, so on the rebounding end, he was good. Distribution-wise, I think obviously OG and Pascal, when they're leading, I think when OG scores 20 points, we have a high chance of winning any game. Just the defense, typically, like I said, they never really focus on OG as a focal point. He'll never be the focal point of any defensive plan from another team. But if he can put up 20 points, the other guys will come naturally. So I think it was his game where he was efficient. And then off the bench, Utah was good. And Paul Watson hit some efficient baskets as well. So that was the main thing there, efficiency. And again, like OG, if he hits 20 points, it's hard for Raptors to lose, I think.
I feel like with the Raptors, with the versatility of OG and being able to play any position from 2 to 5 this season, obviously he hasn't played the point, but he seems like he's the most valuable player for the Raptors. And every time he scores 20 points or more, it kind of, like you mentioned earlier, eases the stress off other players and the offense naturally comes to them because the defense can't double team. And OG was efficient from 3 tonight. It felt like he was making every 3 he took. And to your point, Yuta Watanabe, his 3-point game is coming around right now.
Yo, he did well today, really well.
Yeah. Past few games, like he's always been that good hustle player, and he's always had that solid defense. But in terms of his offense, it was always like a negative on the court when he was there. But now with the 3-point stroke coming through, he's getting some valuable minutes, and the coach is trusting him more on the floor. And he's actually hunting his shot too. He's not just going away from it.
I feel like the addition of Cam Birch kind of helped him out a bit because they get offensive rebounds, which leads to second chance points is right. I feel like that kind of helped him a lot.
And also the fact that he doesn't have to, there's not that much pressure on the guards and Watanabe and Paul Watson to rebound the ball.
Yeah.
That conserves energy. You mentioned Chris Boucher. Pascal Siakam took 20 shots and only had 20 points, so he wasn't efficient tonight, but 11 rebounds. His best game tonight was his facilitating. Every time we looked, he was making good passes, whether it was to Freddie Gillespie for a dunk or to OG Anunoby for a 3 or Watanabe for a 3. He was always out there. He did force his shots a few times, but his assists came clutch.
I feel like it was in the first half is where he started forcing his shots. I think in the second half he kind of calmed down a bit.
Yeah, he was taking dumbass shots in the first half.
Yeah.
And expecting the ref to bail him out.
Yeah.
Well,
Wine to the refs, you know.
the bench of the Raptors played pretty well.
Yeah.
We had about 7 guys in double figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
And-
played amazing.
Yeah, but looking at the Spurs bench, I don't know if they had any serious injuries. But
And Dean White, not Dean White, what's the guy's name again? Something White. He went off, yo, in the fourth.
Derek White.
Derek White,
it
yeah.
looks like they went with like an 8-man rotation. Oh no. They went with a 9-man, but only person off the bench that really had an impact was Patty Mills. Rudy Gay didn't play well. Eubanks had the dunk on Gillespie, but missed the free throw.
Yeah.
Lonnie Walker, he's not really playing up to par of how he, based on his highlights and stuff.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that might be on the move soon too, because he doesn't look like he fits into the Spurs culture. Maybe too flashy.
Talking about Lonnie Walker the fourth?
Lonnie Walker the fourth, yeah. There's another guy on that squad on the Spurs.
Kelvin Johnson.
Kelvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kelvin-
yeah.
Kelvin
He's been
Johnson.
kind of struggling though, like the past.
Yeah. He's high expectation. He had high expectation as well.
Yeah,
Well, he's came over in the Kawhi Leonard trade,
Leonard
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Raptors pick.
Oh, he was a late Raptors pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did want to talk about that dunk, though.
DeRozan trying to go top shelf. Eubanks says, finish it and send me to the line. Go ahead and flex, Drew. It's okay. Pump that chest out. Leave it to Beaver. You see how he's walking toward half court?
I thought Gillespie's life was going to be over.
Yeah.
DeRozan was going to get another poster like he did on Chris Boucher, but Gillespie got the block. And then I don't even count as the Eubanks poster as a poster because Gillespie came from the side. He wasn't even there. But kudos to him for trying to make a second attempt to get a second block. Gillespie had 9 points. Cambridge, they had 23 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists with 1 steal and 5 blocks at the center position. So that's solid. I mean, compared to what Baines was doing, I don't think Baines has even had that in total for the season as it is.
Yeah, his block numbers are weak. And, I was thinking maybe they should play him a bit more Baines just in the beginning of games, just to set an identity in the post and the paint and get like rebounds. But his skills are just too old. It just doesn't fit into today's game.
That's the problem, though. Like, with the way he can't move his feet for shit. So he's not just going to end up on Shaq in the full. He's going to end up on World Star.
Yeah,
he's going to end up on World Star.
Might be a 6 plus.
He's been caught. You know how many players in the NBA have caught a body on Aaron Baines?
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to regrow this man bun.
Oh,
Wait,
regrow. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. The man bun is the best Baines so far.
Yeah.
He won a ring with the Spurs in 2014 and then went to Detroit, went to Celtics, went to Phoenix. Did pretty well in all those places, but then when he came to the Raptors, he's become a deadbeat.
Disaster.
Yeah.
At this point, I think Alex Len would have been a better keep than.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
He's killing the Wizards.
I'm happy with the way that the season has gone because even though we missed out on so many guys like Gorgie Jang, DeMarcus Cousins, all these guys, we ended up with 2 mobile bigs in Gillespie and Cambridge. And I feel like Gillespie's done enough in this 10-day contract to earn a second 10-day contract, or if not, get a contract to last the season. Outside of Patty Mills in 30 minutes that had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 of 15 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, made 5 threes at 11 attempts. No defensive stats, but like I said, he came off. It was a quick spark off the bench, had 11 points in 4 minutes, and after the first half, he really didn't have much impact.
Well, he's the high IQ, and I think he might be the longest tenured Spur.
Right now, yeah.
Probably the only Spur there that has a ring, right?
Yeah.
Wait, who was that?
Patty Mills.
Patty Mills.
Patty Mills, yeah. I thought Rudy Gay was long too, but Rudy Gay came a year or 2 after Patty Mills.
Yeah. Patty Mills has 1 ring with the Spurs in 2014. That's the only guy left from that championship roster.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Pirtle, former Raptor, in 26 minutes had 4 points, 10 rebounds, 2 of 8 from the field, no assists, no free throw attempts, no 3-point attempts, no steals, but 2 blocks, 4 turnovers. I think I already mentioned DeRozan, but 37 minutes at 19 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, 6 of 11 from the field, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, no 3-point attempts because he ain't a 3-point shooter. He's a mid-range assassin, but he had a steal, 3 turnovers, almost single-handedly brought back the game at the end with the way the Raptors executed in the final minutes of the game.
Yeah.
DeJounte Murray, 32 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from the three-point line with 3 steals, no blocks. And Keldon Johnson, 24 minutes at 10 points, 2 rebounds, no assists, 4 of 7 from the field, no free throw attempts, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, no defensive stats. They went pretty small based on the roster. Like, if you saw the starting lineup for them, like, the Raptors were the bigger team, and that's kind of weird because the Raptors never are the bigger team.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the star player and the guys we're throwing under the bus. Let's start with the star player since we won this game tonight.
OG.
Yeah, Dylan, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going to go with OG. He played different today, so he was playing inside out. I think he started off with the threes, then he started attacking the basket, ended out on the 2-point game, so he was good.
Yeah, and that putback dunk from Siakam missed.
Here's Pascal. Oh, gee, oh my, on the weak side with the putback. Hello, Anunoby.
To put the icing on the cake, basically.
Yeah, and it was over a pretty big guy, I think. It was one of their bigs he dunked on.
Over DeMar. It was over DeMar.
Oh, yeah, it was over DeMar. A little redemption. But, all right, yeah, I agree with that, too. I'm going with OG. Who we throwing under the bus?
I'm going to say Chris Boucher.
Yeah, Chris Boucher only had 12 points, 12 rebounds, but his dumbass
He had an efficient night, but he kind of made some stupid plays.
He almost costed us the game at certain points.
I was going to say Siakam too, but whatever.
And did he get any blocks? No blocks for him too. So
no blocks.
He's out there to get blocks. 1 steal. I mean, that's okay, but
5 turnovers.
Yeah.
If Kemba is getting 2 blocks and a steal, and Boucher is only getting
5
1
turnovers.
steal, it's no good.
Yeah.
No,
So we're throwing Chris Boucher. I would throw Pascal Siakam in there too because 20 points on 20 points at 20 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how many turnovers did he have?
He's terrible. Toss him
Only
in.
2 actually. Good assist to turnover ratio today.
Yeah.
3 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's not bad for a big, but could have been a little better with the shot selection.
Yeah, for sure. I would say Pascal and Malachi Flynn for the most part. They had solid amount of points, but they both were inefficient tonight. And
I'm not gonna hassle Malachi Flynn because he's still a rookie. He's still learning, right?
all right, so we're gonna go Chris Boucher, Pascal Siakam thrown under the bus tonight.
Aaron
Baines is always gonna be there. He's
always on the bus.
He's just enjoying the views from the bench. Star player of the game, OG Anunoby. People we're throwing under the bus are Chris Boucher, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Baines is already there. I feel like the most part, even though Paul Watson didn't score in double digits tonight, I feel like he hit some crucial threes for us to help us kind of sustain that lead and even get back the lead at one point. Because I believe when we were up 3 going into the fourth quarter, he came out and hit the first 3 to put us up 6. And Watanabe scored in double digits. I'm not going to bash him for it. He was efficient tonight. Baines, Chris Boucher, Pascal Siakam under the bus. Let's call it a night to wrap up the podcast. Any final thoughts?
I like the direction we're going with the new additions of Freddie G and Kem Birch. About time.
Yeah, we should keep starting Kem Birch.
Sorry, say that. Dylan, go ahead.
No, Nugent said let's keep starting Kem Birch. I agree with that. Better matchup for opposing starting centers. Boucher will be better off the bench against the second lineup bigs for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he's doing too much in the starting role. He needs to tone it down a bit.
I think it's a confidence booster too, because I didn't realize that Spurs are pretty high up. Well, they're ranked 9th in the West. Mm-hmm. And I think coming up, we have a somewhat easier schedule. It's a good confidence booster because Spurs are a playoff team right now. Mm-hmm. And anytime you beat Popovich and DeRozan, the old face of the franchise, I think it's going to boost a lot of the players' morale. Yeah, because the new guys, people are not used to beating the Spurs. So new guys coming to Toronto and beating the Spurs, I think will be a good confidence booster for them.
I hope they sign Freddie G long term.
Yeah, him and OG are the same age. They're both 97, born in 1997. The Raptors with this W are 22-34 for the season, still 11th in the Eastern Conference. They're 1 game behind the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls lost to the Orlando Magic tonight. Vucevic lost to his former team. Kem Birch is going up against his former team coming up. That's our next game. And if we get that W, we're basically back in contention for the play-in tournament. We were never really out, but if we could probably, jump over Chicago, even though they have the season series against us, we still have a fighter's chance.
For sure.
And with the Demar DeRozan, Greg Popovich combo, since we made the Kawhi trade, unfortunately, KYLE LOWRY didn't play tonight, but DeRozan's 3-3 against the Toronto Raptors since being traded. We play Orlando on Friday. And yeah, Chicago looks like a bipolar team right now. They play good some nights, they play shit other nights. Kind of like the Raptors this season as well, depending on competition. That's going to do it for this podcast. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video, make sure you like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. What are y'all waiting for? Stop slacking, bro. And we'll be back. And we'll be back with the post-game podcast after the Orlando Magic game. But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace.